lots of art everywhere. The buildings are a work of art. Just the average apartment building, you say, that's an apartment building? That's it? Oh, yeah, that's all. That's how we build here. So certainly inspiring venue for the players, but will these two be inspired? The 18-year-old Wesley knows that this kid is lighting up the stratosphere with his play, and he doesn't offer draws except easy draws. Even when he was worse in that game against Peter Spindler,
he's trying to win.
I'm still trying to win. That's just who he is. What a beast. But can he do it against somebody of Wesley's level and then Nepo's level? This is a huge test for him. If he doesn't do it now, let me say this. If he doesn't do it now, Yaz, we can simply ignore everybody else in the tournament, and it will be all about Wesley and Nepo, because they've separated themselves from the rest of the field.
These next two rounds.
These next two rounds will tell us if there's going to be a third player playing for the title, because Wesley and Nepo are so far ahead of the field. It's all about this kid. Can he surge and keep pace? If he loses here, that'll be a huge body blow. He's closed the gap by 2 points. A loss, because now he's 3 points behind. He started 5 down. He's 3 points behind. A loss would put it at 4 points despite his incredible play. 4 points, only 1 point gained after all that would be a big disappointment for him.
And they're off. D4, knight f6,
and Bishop G5, the trump on the board.
I know in the case of Wesley, once he gets into his comfort zones as far as his openings are concerned, it's really, really hard to knock him off his pedestal. But the Trumpovsky, that's a surprise. Knight c6, bishop b5, by the way.
Instantly by the youngster. Every move so far. Instant. Like, this is my theory.
This is what I've prepped. And takes.
And knight d2. He's still in his prep.
And look how quickly he's playing. Confidently. So bishop takes c5, developing and winning back the pawn.
He's finally paused.
Yeah, I was about to say, now you pause? Okay. Knight out.
And c3.
Making sure that the pawn on c4 was going to be lost. So he gives it back to make sure that white structure is compromised. I was about to say, either castles or bishop d7. There's not too many alternatives in the position for black. Here, knight e5 starts to look a little bit attractive.
By the way, this is the kind of position that you may say, black should be fine.
Yes.
But as far as Alireza is concerned, he doesn't care what fine is. He just wants a position that you haven't memorized, worked out completely. He's not an opening theoretician like his elders. And so for him, he just needs a decent position on the board that causes Wesley to pause a little bit. F5. And it's the kind of position, too, I will add, that favors his creativity. A few imbalances. You see the king side for black is a slightly compromised. The queen side is compromised. In white's turn, rook to b1 on the board, defending the bishop on b5 in case of knight takes on d4. And now rook to c8 by Wesley. So it's a position, but it's not one of those, Yaz, that you could make a snap judgment and say, this is just triple zeros. No. And now a queen on h5.
Right.
Definitely a demonstration by the youngster. Hey, I'm whispering at your king a little bit. Yeah. You better watch out.
Well, exactly. And I think that was one of the reasons why Wesley didn't play the prescribed queen c7, bishop e7. He anticipated that the white queen might show up on his doorstep with queen h5, so he wanted his queen over on the king side, and we can expect rook to d8, almost as an automatic.
There's a knight e4, sighting in the position, Yaz, a knight jumping to e4 because of the bishop hanging on the c5 square. It doesn't seem to mean much at the moment. An offer to exchange queens. The kid doesn't like to trade queens. He likes tactics and trickiness. Plus, he would have righted the black pawn structure if he had done so. So he just dropped back, and the knight on d4 is a pretty solid piece.
Yeah, but the structure actually does favor black at the moment. The split pawn, the potential especially for a very ugly weakness on c3.
But what about taking the knight on c6?
I was about to say, I think it's time to...
Bishop takes on c6. What do you think?
Bishop takes c6. And giving up the two bishops? I don't like it. I'll take black.
Okay.
But let's see, what did he do? He did something.
He brought his knight over to the middle and queen f6. Now, and this is the issue. What should white do in this position? Knight c6 you had mentioned you might sign up for.
Oh, he played, pardon me. Knight on d2 to f3 was his move. Queen came back to f6 because there was a potential for captures on c6.
e4.
E4?
We have an e4 sighting.
Okay.
That's changes.
That's frisky.
The position dramatically.
No question about it.
Is he dropping a pawn on, wait, takes.
Trying to work out the tactics as well. So if he goes knight takes
Knight
d4?
takes d4 is my question. Knight
Absolutely.
takes d4.
Knight takes
Let's
d4.
play it. Let's play it and follow quickly before he goes, because I know he's thinking about it. Knight takes d4, pawn takes. You can take on b5 with the bishop. And let's say rook takes. And then take on d4.
d4 or e4?
Or
d4.
If you take on e4, then I can play queen takes and defend.
I was thinking that if you take on d4, I got e5.
That's winning a piece.
There's no back rank mate.
Oh, there might be trickery on the back row.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't see it.
Well, we'll keep an eye.
I don't see that. And Wesley's calculating all of it. But my point is, if you take on e4 first, though, and what did Wesley play? Wesley just dropped his bishop back. I think he was legit, and now he's taken on f5. This has changed the pawn structure pretty dramatically. Pawn takes on f5, and now knight takes on d4.
Ooh, sorry.
And we're expecting pawn takes.
I have to re-jump back and forth.
And Wesley can now take on f5 with anything he wants, with either pawn or queen.
Yeah, I'd rather
and he's
take
chosen
with
the queen. But so we have an isolated pawn position.
With a compromised king structure.
With a compromised king side, can he play bishop d3? But his rooks can't get. Knight e5 is not possible because of the d pawn. So I don't know that bishop d3 goes anywhere with white. But what do you do otherwise if you are?
Well, I'm begging for a rook lift.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I would love to lift a rook, but it doesn't seem possible.
I'm thinking, first of all, to get out of the back rank mate, bishop takes, rook takes, and I've got a tempo against the queen. The problem I'm having is
rook d5.
Is rook d5.
Exactly. You can't get that rook lift.
Why I think I have to go with bishop d3 on this one. Tickle the queen with the idea of putting the bishop on e4.
What does that do?
He's done it. I don't know. Or
this doesn't seem to be leading anywhere. The bishop will go to c6. And what do you have?
Well,
it is a queen e4 sighting right now, by the way.
With the double hit, yeah.
But I don't really want to take your b pawn. I'm so not interested in your b pawn. But if I play queen e4,
I'll probably play queen g7.
Queen g7, and I'm not taking on b7.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, bishop c6 is about to show up, but
something did go forward. What went forward?
He did go queen e4.
He did go queen e4.
Okay, so.
And h6.
Wesley didn't drop back with the queen, which I found to be a natural move. And he's saying, please take my pawn. Queen takes b7, bishop c6 would be a disaster for white.
We are not taking that pawn.
Do not take that pawn. For sure, he's thinking knight e5.
Knight e5 right now.
Bishop e4, bishop a4.
Bishop a4, exactly. And your d pawn is under heavy pressure. But bishop c6 is on the way. Can he play d5 right now?
No. Take it.
d5, you just take it, and I can't. No checks in there. The queen on f6 is a monster defender. So no way to checkmate the white king.
Yeah, that's the whole problem. You certainly could show up with queen h7 check, but as you're saying, this queen defends the business square h8. The king is perfectly safe on f8. Dark square, no dark square bishop for white.
King is headed to f8. That's the trick.
By the way,
then what does white have?
Isn't Firouzja's time just like seriously ticking away?
He's been under a minute every game.
We've seen him play
every game
with
like that.
seconds on his clock. I mean, a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds on his clock. He runs down his clock very often.
He's such a great bullet player that it seems like he wants to be in bullet mode. And so check to the king, queen g7, offering a trade, and now queen h4. What was the point here if bishop c6? What do you have after bishop c6?
Nothing. I'm not a fan of the move that Wesley chose.
He chose bishop a4, pushing the rook around.
I like that move a lot. Because again, d4 is now
but
hanging.
But rook e4 and rook g4.
No, bishop takes d4 is going to...
but bishop d4, rook e4, no?
Bishop f6.
What you got for that? Bishop f6.
Bishop f6 and rook takes d3.
Yeah, that's a little bit scary. And it's been
as
played.
we said, this is an absolutely huge game for the tournament, huge game for the players, as Alireza Firouzja has put together in a fantastic winning streak.
He made a move. What did he play here? He played the rook e4, allowing bishop f6, but your bishop on a4 is hanging.
As is the bishop on d3.
Right, so queen h3, keeping rook g4 in mind. You take on d3, he can take on a4.
No. I'm going to play bishop c6. You're going to play rook g4. I'm going to play rook takes d3. I didn't want to lose that light square bishop. I wanted to sacrifice my queen for rook, bishop, and pawn.
No. You mean after bishop c6?
Bishop c6, rook g4, rook takes.
Oh, I see.
D3. Oh, he's allowed
the sack you think is a bad idea. And Wesley played bishop g5 in response and allowed rook takes a4. Wesley's currently up a pawn.
I would have
By the way,
delighted.
Queen boy 2 just flashed inside my head.
Back rank mate.
And it's been played. Queen b2 on the board.
Back rank mate.
With the back rank. And how do you defend? You have to play rook f1, but then rook c1 is coming.
Seconds.
He's in big trouble right now.
Rook c1 on the board.
He's in trouble.
And
he's in big trouble. Rook f1, rook to c1.
And he's played, he had
g4.
Ew. Ooh,
this
terrible
looks
move.
ugly. There must be a win.
Queen e2 has got to be winning. Queen
No, queen e2.
Queen e2 right here.
But he can take your
right now.
He can take your rook.
Think about it. Queen e2.
No, rook takes on f1 has been played. He could always put his king to g2, so rook takes rook, no?
Bishop takes.
And then king g2?
Bishop e3.
And the game is over. He has defeated him. Fantastic play by